The other day, I went to change the Instagram name for It's Time to Fight to It's Time to Fight space, line space, hashtag politics. Because I wanted to make sure that when people search politics, that It's Time to Fight pops up. And for you all who don't know, because of this whole Hillary Clinton Russia thing that her, Robbie Mook, and John Podesta cooked up the day after she lost the 2016 election, the government started using that in order to censor political speech on social media platforms. So when I tried to go start doing political ads on Facebook, I ended up having to go through a ridiculous process for them to prove that I was who I said I was and I was in the country I said I was. And then once I went through that process that took a week or two, they said, okay, you're in America, so you can only post about political stuff ad-wise in the United States. Are you serious right now? Like, that's crazy. But I'm like, fine, I'll do that. So I started posting political ads. And I had to link the Instagram account. So they checked to make sure that the account that you're talking about linking is the same. So that's what I did, and I waited on them, and they said, okay, great, it's time to fight on Facebook, it's time to fight on Instagram. Fantastic. I decided to, as I said earlier, change the name in order to make sure that people, when they search hashtag politics, that the page will pop up. But the page name is the same as far as It's Time to Fight. It's just It's Time to Fight hashtag politics. I changed that, and then I started running into these problems. Now, I was running into problems with Facebook before. It's been happening for a while. They had been suppressing my ads. This time, I said, hey, I'm going to change this name. And when I change this name, I'm going to continue running ads on Facebook and Instagram. But when I went to change it, it went into review. It was supposed to only be 24 hours. It's been days, like 4 days or so, and it's still in review, maybe 5 days. That's not the worst part. Guess what happened? I went and looked, and I saw that the edit button for putting in the thing in order for them to review your name so they can make sure your account stays tied together is gone. The edit button is gone. So you can't even edit it. Now, why did I even have to go to try to do that? Because I was trying to run ads on Instagram, directly from Instagram, not through Facebook to Instagram, but directly through Instagram. And it said, you have to check this box to say that it's a political ad. I'm like, okay, cool. As soon as I check the box, they say, you can't run political ads because your account hasn't been verified. And it's the same account from before. It's just the name changed from It's Time to Fight to It's Time to Fight, space, hashtag politics. Not the URL, just the name on the page. So I'm like, but I'm waiting on you all. You all are the ones who need to change it. You all are the ones who need to approve it. I'm waiting on you, so why don't you approve it? It's because they're censoring political speech that rails against the establishment on all these social media platforms. Now think about what that means, what they just did to me. They say you have to ask for permission to post these ads by going through a verification process. Then I go through the verification process and they say, we're going to put it in review, and within 24 hours, we're going to let you know. It's been 4 or 5 days, and then they remove the edit button so you can't even go in there and change it. So that means it can stay in review in perpetuity. Just in review for the next year. There's nothing I can do about it. That means they've stopped all of my ads on Instagram. Think about how big Instagram is. So I was running ads on Facebook and Instagram. They've completely stopped all of my ads on Instagram just for the simple fact that the account is in review. So they technically didn't say, you can't do it. They're just saying, oh, we're looking over your account forever. Here's the crazy thing. Some people watching this may think, that sounds kind of conspiratorial. Social media? I mean, did this Hillary Clinton? Yeah. Think about this. The government, because of the First Amendment to the Constitution, the government cannot suppress your free speech. But usually the free speech comes in the form of backlash from the public about, hey, y'all not doing right to the government. And a lot of times, back in the day, they used to do that in what they call the town square. Well, what's the town square nowadays? The town square nowadays is social media. Nobody goes actually to the town's square. Social media is the town square. 2 billion people on Facebook, probably 1 billion something people on YouTube, whole nine. So what happens? This Russia thing, Hillary Clinton concocted, this whole Russia thing, and then the government brings all of these social media people in to Congress and tell them, you better do something about this. Russia, Russia, Russia. Everywhere we look, Russia, Russia, Russia. So then social media comes and says, hey, if you ain't in America, you can't do this. If you're not in this country, you can't do that. They start suppressing your speech. They wouldn't even let me run ads on Facebook because they said, this may be offensive to somebody. Because I had the title, screw you or something in the title. And that was for a self-help book. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. So, if you like this video, be sure to click like and subscribe. And don't forget to check us out on our other social media accounts at It's Time to Fight. But most of all, we need you to go now and join the fight on Patreon and get elevated to fight leadership at patreon.com/It's Time to Fight.